Chapter 1. A Plant Named Sunny. It all began on a quiet Sunday morning. The kind of morning where you feel like rearranging your room, making tea, and maybe buying something new. I had just finished cleaning my shelves when I noticed a dull, empty space near the window. It felt lifeless. Something was missing. That space needed something fresh and alive. So I went to the local plant shop. I didn't plan to buy anything big, just something simple and green. The shop was filled with plants of every shape and size. Cactuses, ferns, succulents, even little flowering pots. But one plant caught my eye. It was small, bright, and looked like it was smiling at me. A tiny green pothos, with shiny heart-shaped leaves. I picked it up, and without thinking too much, I bought it. I brought the plant home and placed it near the window where the sun was soft and warm. I named it Sunny. It felt right. Sunny didn't talk, of course, but in some strange way, it felt like it was listening. I smiled at it every morning. I even said things like, "Good morning, Sunny. And how are you today?" The first week went well. I watered Sunny every day, because I thought that's what plants need. I was proud of myself for being responsible. Taking care of something made me feel more grown-up, more thoughtful. Chapter 2. Love at First Leaf. From the very first day, Sunny became a part of my routine. I would wake up, open my curtains, and say cheerfully, "Good morning, Sunny." It sounds silly when I think about it now, but back then it felt perfectly natural. There was something comforting about talking to a living thing that never judged, never interrupted, and always stayed right where I left it. Sunny's bright green leaves gave me a strange kind of joy. They looked like little hearts, each one shiny and full of life. I would sometimes cup a leaf in my hand and gently wipe the dust off. "You're glowing," I would whisper. I wasn't just caring for a plant. I was forming a bond. Soon I started talking more. I would share tiny details of my day. "Work was boring today," I'd say, or "I made a really bad cup of tea." Sunny, of course, never replied, but the silent company made my room feel less lonely. Then one morning, I took it a step further. I sang. Not a full concert, just soft, silly tunes I made up on the spot. "You are my sunshine, my leafy sunshine." My voice was off-key, but I didn't care. Sunny didn't seem to mind. In fact, I imagined its leaves lifting a little higher when I sang. That image made me sing more. I even started playing calm music in the background. Nature sounds, light piano, soft guitar. I had read somewhere that plants respond to music. Whether it was true or not, I liked the idea of Sunny swaying happily to the notes. Taking care of Sunny became my favorite part of the day. I watered it gently, checked its soil, made sure the sun reached it. I even turned the pot a little every few days, so all sides got equal light. To me, this wasn't just a plant. It was my green roommate. Friends who visited started to notice. You talk to your plant. They'd laugh. Does it talk back? I laughed too, but deep down I felt proud. It felt nice to care about something. Something alive. There was a peaceful rhythm to it all. Sunny was there when I left for work. And it was there when I came back. It never complained, never changed. In a world full of busy people and noisy days, Sunny was my calm. But in those early days, all I knew was that I loved this little plant. And in my own human way, I was doing everything I could to make it grow. Chapter 3, A Splash Too Much. At first, I thought I was doing everything right. Every morning, I gave Sunny a small cup of water. It became a part of our morning ritual. Open the curtains. Greet Sunny. Sing a line or two. Water the plant. It felt good. I believed this was love and responsibility in action. But then something began to change. It started with one leaf. Just one, that turned a little yellow around the edges. I noticed it while wiping the leaves. My first thought, maybe Sunny was thirsty. So I added a little more water the next day. And the day after. And again the day after that. I didn't think too much about it. More water should mean more health. Right. Water is life. That's what they say. But within a week, the yellowing got worse. One leaf became 3. Then 5. And then 2 of them fell off completely. I sat on my bed and stared at Sunny. My green friend looked tired. The leaves drooped. The pot was heavy, the soil always wet. Something was wrong. Still, I told myself, maybe Sunny needs even more water. Maybe it just haven't found the right amount. So I continued. I kept watering, kept singing, kept wiping the leaves gently. I thought I was being caring, but deep inside I was becoming unsure. Chapter 4. The Yellowing Surprise. The next evening, I came home from work and found another leaf lying on the floor. I picked it up slowly. It felt soft and weak. Not the strong, shiny leaf it once was. I looked at Sunny, and for the first time, I felt scared. Was I hurting it by trying too hard? I didn't water the plant that day. I just sat beside it silent. It felt strange, like being with a friend after a fight. You want to speak, but don't know what to say. I whispered, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I finally searched online. I typed, why is my plant turning yellow? The answers were all over the place. Too much sun. Not enough sun. Dry air. Overwatering. Underwatering. It was confusing. Every answer led to a different question. That night I tossed and turned in bed. My thoughts kept going back to Sunny. Was it me? Was I doing too much? My heart wanted to care, but my actions were possibly doing harm. The next morning, I made a new promise. I would stop guessing. I would find the real answer. Not from random blogs, but from people who knew plants. I needed to understand what Sunny truly needed, not what I assumed it needed. Chapter 5. Panic in the Pot. But when I looked at Sunny the next morning, my heart sank. The leaves were still drooping. One had a brown edge. Another had a yellow spot that looked bigger than yesterday. I tried to stay calm, but my chest tightened. What if I had done more damage? What if it was too late? That's when the panic set in. I became a plant doctor overnight, but without a degree. I read blog after blog, watched YouTube videos, watched plant-saving tutorials. I found myself taking notes on the symptoms, writing down words like aerated soil, root shock, and chlorosis. I even made a list. Check the light source. Check the soil moisture. Check the drainage. Prune out damaged roots. Remove yellowing leaves. Keep an eye on new growth. Avoid overwatering. But with every step I took, more doubts cropped up. Was I pruning too much? Was I not pruning enough? Should I move Sunny to a different windowsill? Was the sun too strong? Was it not bright enough? I went down a rabbit hole of plant forums. I read stories of people losing their plants, even after trying everything. Some posts had photos that looked just like Sunny. Yellow, droopy, sad. By the third day, I was checking Sunny every 2 hours. I took pictures and compared them to the previous day. I touched the leaves to see if they seemed stronger. I sniffed the soil to detect the smell of decay. I even spoke to Sunny in a whisper, as if asking for a response. Are you feeling better today? One night, unable to sleep, I sat on my bed at 2 in the morning, reading a long thread on a plant care site. Someone had written, "Sometimes a plant just needs time." Time, the word touched me. It was so simple, so obvious, and yet I had overlooked it. I was rushing the healing process, expecting Sunny to get better immediately, just because I had repotted her. But healing doesn't happen overnight. Not for humans, not for plants. I closed my laptop and walked to the window. Sunny stood there, silently, under the dim street light filtering through the curtains. I sat down beside him. The next morning, I made a new list for myself. Not of things to fix, but of things to look at. Is the soil dry before watering? Do the leaves feel hard or soft? Is there any new growth? Are any leaves improving? This list wasn't about control. It was about understanding. Over the next few days, I adopted a new rhythm. I checked the soil with my finger before watering. I gently turned the pot every few days to balance the light. I talked less and observed more. And slowly, something beautiful happened. One morning, as I bent over Sunny, I saw it. A tiny new leaf, curled up, ready to grow. It was pale green, fresh, hopeful. I smiled, giggled. I had spent days worrying, panicking, and searching, but Sunny just needed a break. Some air, some time, and I could stop panicking like a doctor chasing the wrong symptoms. That one little leaf comforted me. The panic subsided. In its place came a quiet confidence. I didn't need to know everything. I just needed to listen. To Sunny, to Mitty, to the silence. And that's when I knew Sunny would be okay. Chapter 6. The Guilt of Drowning Love. The moment I faced the truth, it felt like a punch in my chest. Sunny, my cheerful little plant, was not thriving. It was fading. The once vibrant green leaves were now a dull, sorrowful yellow because I had overwatered it. I was the reason it was suffering. I remember sitting on the floor, Sunny beside me, staring at it for a long time. I was quiet, the apartment was quiet. The noise in my head, however, was loud. How could I do this? I asked myself. I wanted to help it, to make it happy, to give it the best care. But in trying so hard, I went overboard. I had smothered it with attention and water. It needed space. It needed air. And I didn't give it that. I picked Sunny up gently, carefully brushing the leaves with my fingers. "I'm sorry," I whispered, my voice cracking. I didn't know." Over the next few days, guilt followed me everywhere. Whether I was brushing my teeth, making tea, or working on my laptop, I kept glancing at Sunny. I would ask myself again and again, should I have known better? Why didn't I wait before watering again? Sometimes when we care deeply, we believe that more is always better. More waters, more love, more attention. But plants are not humans. Even humans need boundaries, space, and time. So do plants. Sunny was trying to tell me through its yellowing leaves, through its droopy posture, that it needed me to stop. But I didn't understand those signs. One evening, I decided to sit beside Sunny and write a note. I do this sometimes when I feel overwhelmed. Writing helps me see clearly. Here's what I wrote. "Dear Sunny, I know you can't read this, but maybe you can feel it. I want you to know that I didn't mean to hurt you. I was just so happy to have you. You made my little home feel alive. I thought watering you often meant loving you more. I didn't know it could be too much. I'm learning, Sunny. I promise to be better. I'll give you time. I'll give you air. I'll listen to your silence. Please get better. Love me." After writing it, I folded the note and placed it under the pot. A silly thing maybe, but it gave me some peace. I decided not to water Sunny for a while. I checked the soil gently every day with my finger. If it felt damp, I left it alone. If it felt dry, I waited another day. I kept the blinds open to let sunlight come in. I stopped moving the pot around. I let Sunny be. During those days, I also began reading more deeply about plant care. I found blogs written by people who had made the same mistake. Some cried, some laughed, some started over. It was comforting to know I wasn't alone. I wasn't a bad person. I was just learning. And sometimes learning hurts. Sunny was more than just a plant. It became a mirror to my own habits, my own personality. I realized I do the same with people. I try too hard, I worry too much. I give more than what is asked. And maybe, just maybe, it's time I start learning to pause, to breathe, to step back, because sometimes the best way to love is to let be. Chapter 7. Letting the soil breathe. Sunny didn't change overnight. The yellow leaves stayed. Some fell off. A few more drooped. But I stayed strong. No water. Just air, light and quiet. Then on the 6th day, something tiny happened. A small green leaf peeked out from one of the stems. It was small, shy and pale, but it was new. It felt like a miracle. I didn't cry, but my chest tightened in the most beautiful way. Sunny was trying. That one leaf gave me hope. I kept going. I still didn't water, but I monitored the soil once a week with a finger test. If it was dry an inch deep, I'd add just a little water. Just enough to moisten, not drown. I was finally learning balance. Over the next few weeks, Sunny slowly transformed. The yellow leaves stopped spreading. A few more green ones joined the brave little survivor. The stem stood taller. The soil smelled fresh. It felt like we were healing together. Chapter 8. Sunny's comeback. 2 weeks passed. I stayed strong. I didn't touch the watering can. Not even once. I watched Sunny every morning, held my breath every time I looked at its pot, and whispered, "I hope you're okay." Then one quiet Thursday morning, something magical happened. I was sipping my tea, standing by the window, when my eyes fell on the pot. And there it was, a tiny green sprout. Just one, but it was new, fresh, bright, alive. I leaned in, almost afraid to blink. Was I seeing things? I tilted my head, squinted, and gasped. "Sunny, you're back." The leaf was small but confident. It pushed out from the soil like a proud little flag waving hope. A sign that my plant was trying, fighting, growing. The next morning there were two. I couldn't stop smiling. I even clapped a little. It felt like watching a miracle unfold. Sunny wasn't just a plant, it was a survivor. Chapter 9. The Lesson in Balance. I sat near the window, looking at Sunny, my one struggling plant, now growing stronger each day. Its leaves stood upright, brave, and green. In trying to love Sunny the best I could, I had overdone it. I gave it too much water, too much attention, and not enough space. I didn't mean harm. I only wanted to care. But the result had been damage, not growth. It reminded me of times in life when we hold on too tightly. We think more is better. We give everything, hoping it will help. But sometimes love means stepping back, giving time, trusting that growth takes time and doesn't need constant control. Sunny was proof of that. I stopped overwatering. I read more. I watched its soil. I checked its sunlight. And I learned to wait. To be quiet sometimes, just watching. No pouring, no panicking. Just breathing together.